SRN Motorsports Historic Trans Am Series. This week we are at Nurburgring. Final race of the season. Final race of this 2020 season. Again, sorry for the interruption there. Something happened with my XSplit. Again with me, as always in the booth, is Strife. Welcome, Strife.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. As forementioned, we are at Nurburgring. A little bit of info before we... Oh, never mind. Looks like we're ready to go now. And as predicted, Diablo is on the starting, or on pole position. And I've got the old black screen. Hey, and we're off. Diablo out in front. Sarverious looks like he started second, but looks like he might have got a bad start as they head down into turn one. Managed to switch on the outside of Diablo as they go through turn one. Medieval Knight battling with Face Palmer, and not sure who else that is in the battle for third there. MasterBigChief actually. Sarverious pushing hard through turn 3 as they come around that loop into turn 4, and really tight, sloping down that section there. So, why is my pre-race still up? I failed to get. I know there's action going on right now, but I really have not been impressed with XSplit lately. Laggy, and I don't know, maybe I'm asking too much of it. But anyway, onwards and upwards. Diablo still out in front. He managed to get that position back from Sarverious. Of course, I missed it, as is tradition. Face Palmer pushing hard as they head down. Actually, I'm lost because what part of the track are they on? These terrible camera angles. Oh, okay, there we are. They're coming actually out of the Schumacher S through turn 10. As Face Palmer goes wide, you can see him off in the distance there. Any battles that we should be looking at right now?
Well, there's a good one just past the halfway point here.
Whereabouts?
8th and 9th, MasterBigChief trying to make a move on Wagonator. I'm also hopping back even further as well. This chicane's really messing some drivers up. Sierra with some body damage.
Yeah, that chicane is super critical. You got a full steam ahead, or full head of steam going down into it through that big long kink, where you're basically full throttle through the whole thing, and then hard onto the binders into that quick chicane. NGK chicane actually turns 13 and 14. MasterBigChief tapping the back of Wagonator. Wagonator a little loose, but able to keep the car under control. MasterBigChief lets off the throttle a little bit as he realizes he got into Wagonator. Not trying to push through him. Hats off to MasterBigChief for that. Pop up to third actually for now. That is Medieval Knight, kind of all by himself there, so give Medieval Knight his few seconds in the spotlight, and then we'll pop and continue on. Look like we actually had a car off going through turn 11, or sorry, not turn 6. That would be Patriot, I believe, that was off. He's lost a lot of time to Wheelman. Haven't seen much of Wheelman this season.
And these camera angles.
Yeah, they're wickedly bad, aren't they? Currently with in battle for 11th with fourcamtbird, and I believe that's TBK. Yes, that is TBK right now. head down to that NGK chicane. I'm getting that weird paint effect again where it's showing the chrome, which is highly unfortunate. But I think somebody at one point told me how to get rid of that. Or, that was Optimizer sideways through turn 15 and managed to collect a little bit of forecam there. Yansansan involved in this now as well. This is a big battle for 8th or 9th as forecam's getting a little bit of a nudge. Optimizer trying to go up the middle between, make that 3 wide, not working. TBK managed to let the forecam go through and is now pushing up the outside as they try and wind through turn 4. That is not a great place to pass. Turn 3s and 4, not great at all. Forecam still under pressure here from TBK and Optimizer as they round through turn 5 into turn 6. Sierra getting involved in this as well. You can see him right behind Yansansan as Yansansan looks like he's trying to make a move. So I'll actually pop back to Schleprock as he seems to be in the middle of that. Or actually, I went up to Schleprock, my apologies. I was trying to go back to Yansansan. There we go. Yansansan managed to get past TBK during all that. Optimizer as well. So TBK on 2 spots there. As Optimizer goes wide, gets a little squirrely coming out of random corner because camera angle's bad. I think it was turn 11.
Yeah, 10 into 11.
As they make their way through the chicane, once again, very important to just clip the inside of that rump strip as Yansansan goes a little wide there, opening the door for Optimizer. Optimizer trying to get that as Flight jumps into the pit for his pit stop for this race. Appears that Optimizer does not have the top end, and Yansansan is able to out-drag race him. Optimizer locking up a little bit going into turn 1 in order to avoid running into the back of Yansansan. Anything else that going on? I feel like I've spent the whole race right now on the battle for 9th.
Wildman and Schleprock, 6th and 7th, are currently rather close.
The battle of the GM Gen 2s.
Perhaps I missed it. Wildman may have made a move on Schleprock, and I might apologize. See if there's any.
We have a question from the Great Bearer. I just got this game. Is it goo? It is goo. It is good. As any video game out there, there are glitches, there are problems. They seem to have a few more of them ironed out from version 6. So version 7.
Sorry to interrupt. Jump up to first and second real quick. We got a battle for first.
Hopping up to first. Sarverious trying to get past Diablo once again on the inside. He might be able to out-drag race Diablo going down here because Diablo currently with those PI penalties for finishing so well, and Sarverious able to sneak on through going into turn 1. Both hard on the brakes. Long and the short of it, Great Bear, is it a full sim? No. Is it fun? It can be, yes. Any thoughts on that, Strife?
On the game, I like the collection. I like the long list of cars. It depends on what you're looking for in a game. If you're looking for the absolute most realism and you don't care how many cars are in the game, this isn't probably for you. If you like having a large garage with a lot of cars, paint jobs that people make, the ability to swap engines in and out of different cars, you'll probably like it.
There is quite a big community. It is, after all 7 iterations of it, it still has a surprisingly big community. And it is like one of those great... Oh, sorry, what was that?
It looks like Sarverious is going to hold on to this, so I'm going to look for something else while...
Absolutely. Medieval Knight's closing up on Diablo right now, though. No, again, you don't need a wheel for this. It works just as fine with the controller. And I don't know recently, but I remember way back in like Forza 2, it was actually a detriment to have a wheel. I had a wheel way back then, and you were able to... I was quicker with the controller over the wheels, so...
There are a decent number of drivers in this series that actually right now, Dirt Racing and Trans Am, that do prefer the consistency. You could be a lot more consistent with a controller, except when it comes to oval tracks. Oval tracks, they swear by the wheel, but anywhere else, most of the faster drivers will tell you your best bet is a controller. This game is built around the controller.
Just broke loose a little there. Sorry to interrupt, but that has allowed Diablo to close the gap. Sarverious overcooked the tires coming out of turn 1. I think it's about that time. I'll try and bring up the drink camp. There we go. It actually came up relatively quick this time. Tonight, still sticking with the North Brewing Company beer. Tonight, though, is their higher percentage alcohol, the Alternate Reality New England IPA. Cheers, folks.
Nice.
I do not promote drinking. If you're underage, blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. So what else do we have going on here? Looks like there's a battle for 4th, 5th, and possibly 6th. No, just 4th and 5th. They're not super close here. Wagonator has got a bit of a gap there, so nothing too exciting. Face Palmer, good showing for Face Palmer. He hasn't been able to make it out too many of these races this season, but when he has, he's certainly been a dominant, you know, a fast player or fast driver. Sedlum, currently in 11th. Yansansan trying to get around Sedlum. We haven't seen much of Sedlum either, have we? He's missed a few races, seems to me. Or maybe I'm just making all that up. Oh, let's look at the chart here.
I do believe he's... I could be incorrect as well, but I do believe he has had a busy schedule, and he wants to do what he can while he can.
Actually, according to this, he has made it to every race.
Oh, I must be thinking the wrong driver then. My apologies.
Yeah, me too. I just, we haven't seen much of him. I guess he's been off on his own in most of these races, just doing, you know, hot laps basically. Yansansan making a push up through the turn 1. Overcooks a little bit going through there, but I think he'll be able to hold on to that position. As Yansansan gets 9th back. Not sure how Yansansan lost 9th, but maybe pitting. Something we haven't mentioned is this is a 18 lap race tonight. We are almost halfway through it. We're on lap 7 of 18. Looking at that again, I'm trying to find. Oh, there it is. Face Palmer has made. Actually, Face Palmer's made a good chunk of them. He's missed three of the 10 races, so not bad.
Medieval Knight has caught up to Diablo. I don't know if he's going to be trying to make a move in the next lap or two, but they are almost bumper to bumper here.
We'll pop up to that. Actually, at this point, we might as well just go right to the current driver standings going into this race. So this is current driver standings going into this race. No big surprise here, but Diablo way out in front. Medieval Knight, Yansansan, and Flight are in a very close battle for second. I know the numbers are flying kind of past here quickly, but once this is done, I'm actually going to bring it up again, freeze it on the top 10, because the points between second and 10th are all relatively close. So if we look here, we've got Medieval Knight currently running second. So if Medieval Knight finishes currently where he's at right now, he will have second. Diablo, I don't think there is a mathematical way that he can actually not come in first in the point standings. Even if he DNFs in this race, this would be this would end up being his drop race, and he'd still finish first. Medieval Knight, though, and Yansansan, 1 point apart. Flight, another point behind them. So we got 339, 338, 337. That's how close that battle for second is. And tie, we have a current tie for fifth between Yogurt and Sierra. And MasterBigChief is not too far behind them. So if you see all that, the right down through 10th is actually quite close. Sarverious would actually be higher, but he had a few DNFs because of Xbox problems, freezing problems. But yeah, so unfortunately I won't be able to tell anybody. You'll have to go to the website. Maybe I'll even post it in the description below the YouTube race or YouTube video on the actual final point standings. Medieval Knight still on the back of Diablo there. There we go. Screen, yay. Doesn't look like this is progressing a whole lot here.
I have hopped back to 15th. There, the small battle between Sierra and Yansan. I don't know if Yansan will be open. Sierra is off.
So that's interesting. I wonder how Yansansan ended back in 15th, if that was a pit stop. But I don't know if that would be a pit stop, because that would be an awfully quick pit stop, especially with this pit configuration. It's quite a long pit, is it not?
Yes. Yeah, you're looking at about 30 to 40 seconds, I believe.
This could be a pit. This could have been a pit stop if Sierra had pitted as well. So it's possible both of these drivers have pitted because they were actually quite close on track when we last saw them together. So it is possible that this is an actual pit stop. We have Sedlum coming out of the pits, falling back in behind Sierra in 16th. Looks like we have a battle for 10th again. Just going to pop up there. We have Schlepprock and TBK. as they head down towards that chicane.
Oh, TBK making a move on the inside. And
Nice
managing to
pass.
pull it off. That looked quick and clean from the camera angle we have.
Absolutely. I didn't see. Perhaps Schlepprock broke a little early. Not 100% sure, but sorry, Stabalina. Schlepprock he got owned in that one. What are you drinking tonight there, Great Bear? Sorry, I cannot, I've got so many windows going on right now, I can't watch chat all the time, so I'm switching between like 4 or 5 windows here. So my apologies if I don't get back to any of your comments quickly. It's because I'm tabbed into another window. I even have 2 screens running, that's still not enough. So now let's go back up to that battle for second, as they still seem to be quite close.
I would say they're about 5 or so seconds or less behind the tail end of the field here.
Oh, who's that?
Metronome. The Metronome.
Is Metronome all the way at the back now? Oh, so he
Yes.
is. I wonder what happened.
Maybe pitted?
I just realized that. Yeah, he's like right there.
Oh,
he's off again.
I believe.
Maybe he's just pulling over to let these guys go by. He's not taking the...
Oh, he might have gotten DC'd. He just disappeared, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, he got DC'd. He's gone.
It's unfortunate. I know this isn't really... He's just kind of filling in tonight, that lack of a better term, but he's made it out to a few races, but time commitments and stuff like that, he hasn't been able to commit fully to this race, so this race really means nothing to him. Would have been nice to see him finish, so... Actually, I don't think the Metronome's actually raced at all this season. This is his first race.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Looking at the full list. He used to be one of the staples in the race. He was always in the series. As far as I know, really enjoyed it, so it's unfortunate.
We might have something we could watch here. Patriot in 18th is catching up to Wheelman in 17th. This is 2 drivers we don't get to see very often, so... Oh, as Wheelman goes a little bit wide there.
And I missed it. By the time I clicked through it, yeah.
Wheelman ended up going a bit too wide in turn 11, got caught out into that grass and sand, and it wasn't much of a battle at that point.
Right.
Once you get off the track, the game's not very forgiving out there.
No, I found that out. I did, you weren't around, you were still updating your Xbox, but I actually did qualifying this evening just for shits and giggles. And I got out into that sticky grass. Yeah. I mean, it didn't go well. I didn't, obviously haven't done this in several years and only had 2 laps of practice, but hey, it was fun.
Right. Yeah, once you mess up turn 11, the entire back straight, the kink, and the chicane at the end, the whole thing is just off, and then that throws the next lap off, and like turn 11 is the most important turn to get right.
Currently with Sedlum, as he has Sierra right behind him. It's a battle for 15th. Again, in this series, for everybody who has not been keeping up with the series, there's one mandatory fuel stop in this series. So right now we are doing the old pit stop shuffle. So we're not sure if this is actually a battle for 16th. At one point, Sierra was up in like 12th, I want to say. So I'm not sure if he's had an off or if this is just pit stops playing out. But
yeah, I feel like we're missing a lot. Like every time we jump back into a battle, they're 3 different positions from what they were. It just seems like we keep missing something.
Yep. Right now, though, we have MasterBigChief and TBK. TBK trying to pass MasterBigChief. Going through turn 2, down towards turn 3. Not the best place to be trying to pass, especially on that turn 4, as it's an off camber, sloping off camber. MasterBigChief able to hold on to that spot as TBK backs off wisely. Wagonator getting in on the action as well, back in 8th. Wagonator, he is currently 14th in the point standings. And MasterBigChief is one of those people battling for 5th. So this actually could hurt Sierra. Sierra currently back in 15th. TBK he's one of those ones that's changed his name, isn't he?
He was the Black Knight beforehand.
So where is he on the list then? He's not showing up under that name.
Ooh, TBK nope, he's backing out. He thought about it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where in the point standings TBK is, because it must be under an old name. And Yansansan has not updated his points. TBK trying to make the run down into turn 1. Gets the inside, but breaks loose. Wagonator goes wide as well. MasterBigChief able to hold on to that spot. TBK trying to push up the inside, though, going down towards turn 3. Not going to be able to make the move there. Definitely not going to be able to make the move through turn 4. Currently on lap 13 of 18. Looks like cars are starting to bunch up again outside of first place. Like first through 6 are all spread wide open here. As also, just for info, Medieval Knight currently running first. He has not pit yet, but he has put wheel down a lap. Wheelman is now down a lap. Might as well take this opportunity to do a quick run through of the current order. Again, pit stops still need to completely play out before this is anywhere close to final, and we've got 4 more laps still as well. So currently running first is Medieval Knight. Face Palmer second. fourcamtbird currently running third. Sarverious currently running fourth, which I assume he will end up back out first as the pit stops play out. Diablo fifth. TBK 6th, MasterBigChief 7th, Wagonator currently running 8th, Schleprock 9th, Wildman CB currently running 10th, Flight 11th, Optimizer currently running 12th, Trashman 13th, Yansansan 14th, Sedlum 15th, Sierra 16th, Patriot 17th, and Wheelman back in 18th. Sarverious starting to catch up to 4cam here as well, as TBK is actually I missed this, of course, because that's how I do things. But TBK is actually MasterBigChief and is now trying to catch up to Diablo. Gonna go back to MasterBigChief again, as Wagonator is slowly trying to reel him in. Yeah, not a whole lot going on right now. This is unfortunately one of those races that has kind of spread itself out. There's actually, it looks like, a battle going on for 9th with Wildman and Flight. We haven't seen much of those two yet this evening, so we'll stick with this battle for a few. Flight in that 69 Cougar and Wildman in that Camaro. Correct my memory here. Is that a 71 Camaro or a 72?
It would be 1970.
It's a 70? Your mic's really quiet right now.
They have the 1970 Camaro in this game.
So it's not the split, it's just a straight up. Alright.
Right. Once you add the race arrow, the front bumper ends up just getting removed, so you wouldn't have that to be able to judge off of. The 72s, 73s did have different headlamp setups as well. One year they had just 2 headlamps, another year they had a second set of smaller headlamps closer towards the grille, but still just outside the fenders. But with the race arrow, it just takes the front bumper off. You can't tell from the bumper.
Thank you, Forza. These two have seemed to split themselves apart as well, so let's see what else we can find.
I'm looking at 11th and 12th.
Yes.
Looks like 4cam is getting in on it too. Trashman's been looking for places to pass Optimizer for the last lap or so. Keeps going in some of these corners here, gets real close, and Optimizer's just keeping that door shut. Trashman cannot find an opening.
Playing the good defensive line.
It will be interesting to see what happens if 4cam gets up in here as well.
Again, sorry for the crappy paint. Apparently there's a setting that I need to fix that I never did, and it's showing up crappy paints with all the chrome.
It's going for it again. It's
He isn't.
He's trying.
A little bit of info.
You know Trashman wants to.
A little bit of info about the track. This one is a 5.1 kilometer, 3.2 mile track. Fastest lap here, no big surprise with Michael Schumacher with the 2004 Formula 1. As Optimizer still closing that door on Trashman. Trashman trying so hard to get through on turn 1.
I have a little bit of a fun fact for this section of the track as well.
Have at her then.
After the 1970s, with the massive F1 crash they had here, F1 deemed the track was no longer safe to race here, and other series started following suit. So the southern portion of Nordschleife was completely closed off, and it was left that way for about 13-14 years. It just fell into complete disrepair. Eventually, some race development group decided they wanted to build up a new track in an area that was popular. Fourcam and Trashman.
Wagoner way off. Sorry, Trashman way off. Sorry, continue.
So when they went back into that portion of the track, they decided they were going to pretty much tear up the majority, if not the entire area. They did reuse, I believe, like a quarter of a mile of the original track and just rebuilt the entire area to build up a brand new state-of-the-art track for what became the Grand Prix. And then later they incorporated the Grand Prix into the Nordschleife altogether. But it was interesting because some drivers and some video gamers, obviously, and such, wish that they could still run the old layout while having the new layout, but it doesn't work that way anymore because the old layout's gone. That portion of the track, the majority of it is destroyed and has been completely redone for this track.
Right. Thank you for the input or information. Let's go up to second here as we have Medieval Knight. Medieval Knight currently running second ahead of Diablo. So during that whole pit stop scenario, he was able to get past Diablo in the pit stops. I don't think it was on track. I think it was during pit stops. Medieval Knight was probably able to get in some hot laps. Well, there was that gap between them, between the pits. So Medieval Knight now up to second, further solidifying his second place in the standings if he finishes in this position currently. Yansansan and Flight are way back, so of course they still need to factor in drop weeks and so on and so forth, but I'm pretty sure, looking across the board of points right now, that Medieval Knight will finish second in points. I'm going to pop back to 7th as we have Schlepprock. I thought he was closer to somebody than that, but alas, he is not. MasterBigChief, though, and Wagonator are Schlepprock's in the background. They're not close enough to make any sort of move on these two, but Wagonator and MasterBigChief definitely bumper to bumper here, coming out of the final corner towards the start-finish line on this big, long run down to the start-finish line and into turn one. You can see Wagonator definitely has the top end over MasterBigChief. MasterBigChief, outbraked himself and into the back of Wagonator, though. That is highly unfortunate. Not what he wanted to do at all. Just trying that extra hard, and you know where that gets you a lot of the time. But that has given Schlepprock the instance that he needed to get up closer and make this a three-way battle. We are on the final lap, by the way, too, folks. I just noticed that. Haha. This is Captain Obvious here. We'll actually switch over to the leader there in a bit, but we might as well stick with this battle as I think it's closest on track. MasterBigChief into the back of Wagonator, just a tap again as they drag race up through the Schumacher S. And 3
Up on the
wide,
curb.
question mark? Oh, that is a lot of contact there. I think things are getting a little heated here, possibly. Maybe a little uncalled for, I don't know. I know they're all trying really hard here, and I hope that it was all just them trying really hard, nothing malicious there, but that was really unfortunate for Wagonator. It was Wagonator, wasn't it?
Yes.
Schleprock now giving a little bit back to MasterBigChief and up the inside. Actually, I missed the, geez, we were all caught up in this, and we actually missed the finish here. Kind of late now, and I should actually go back to that. Sorry, I'm bouncing around here, but this is kind of where the action is. We'll stick with it as actually they've crossed the line anyway. So finishing first is Sarverious, second Medieval Knight, Diablo finishing third, TBK fourth, MasterBigChief fifth, Schleprock sixth, Face Palmer seventh, Wagonator eighth, RRR Flight602 is ninth, Wildman CB finishing 10th, Optimizer 11th, fourcamtbird 12th, Yansansan 13th, Trashman 14th, Sedlum 15th, Sierra XR8 finishing 16th, Patriot 17th, Wheelman 18th, and the Metronome with a DNF. That bump really hurt Wagonator. That put him all the way back to 8th. So he lost position to Face Palmer as well, which is really unfortunate for him. Wheelman coming around the final turn now. Actually, might as well just pop on back to him. Oh, actually, he has already crossed the finish line. Why is it showing? I don't know.
It's showing that up to Patriot. Patriot is about to cross the line. And now...
Okay, so Wheelman still has one more lap to do then. Right. Look at the wobbly tires on poor Patriot's Javelin. There. Does it actually do wheel damage in this version of Forza?
Not necessarily. What you receive is suspension damage, but not necessarily wheel damage now.
If you look at his wheels, they look like they're just kind of wobbling all over the place. Like they've taken some major hits. So yes, I mean, outside of waiting for Wheelman to cross the finish line, that is the 2020 Historic Trans Am Series. Not sure what series is going to be next for SRN Motorsports. Of course, keep an eye on the forums. That will be posted on the YouTube channel. It's srnmotorsports.boards.net if you're watching this and want to know more information. Again, over at my YouTube channel, Resident Elvis, we will have full details on upcoming events and, of course, the final points for this series. I really enjoyed getting back in the booth again. It's been a while, like looking back, it's been a couple of years since I've actually broadcast the Historic Trans Am. This was always my baby. This is where I met Yansansan actually way back in Forza 2. So again, nice to be back. Great broadcasting with you. A little bit rough at the start as we kind of figured each other out, but certainly got much better towards the end. Lots of great racing in this series, lots of drama as well. We won't get into that. not naming names, who didn't show up tonight. Thank goodness. Possible illegal usage of motor swaps. Not sure if that ever panned out, but anyway, not to get into the nitty-gritty, but we started off with 38 drivers this season. Unfortunately, only 19 showed up today. That it always happens with the any series in Forza, to be honest. People are like, yeah, this is going to be great. You see them for a race and then they're gone. So to finish with 19 drivers in the final race, that's actually pretty good. So yeah, any thoughts? Anything you want to comment on there, Strife? I'm kind of babbling away here.
Well, sorry to be a little bit off track here. This series is how I with SRN when they were with Season Gamers at the time. It was just over 4 years ago, and this was where I jumped in, was Trans Am. So Trans Am with these guys has been a big thing for me, and I did not want to miss this series. I had a surgery a few months back, and some collateral damage involved my hand, and I couldn't race. And I decided, well, see if there's something else I can do. And here I am with you. It's been fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, pleasure, man. Again, we'll see what happens for the next series. I can't guarantee that I'll be able to commit any time to it, as we are almost into summer season.
You want me to comment on that?
Comment on what? The fact that you finished so far down?
As you should be.
This is Yansansan, by the way, for anybody following along. So
any
what would you
bad
like to
thing that could have
comment
happened? Well, I don't know if we're running Trans Am again. We're gonna wait and see what the next Forza brings, and if people actually make the jump to the next console.
So,
yeah, we have no idea what's gonna happen. But I wanted to step in, and in case you guys forgot, thank
yes,
ORC and Sarverious for partnering with us for this season.
I did forget, and I'm glad you did pop in, because I'm old and forgetful.
It's okay.
Senile.
For sure, them partnering with us helped us keep the numbers up. We had a full lobby for, 8 of the 10 races, and then last week we were missing, 1 driver, and this week we had room for 3 more, so
yeah,
for a 10-week series, no, I'm very happy. So thanks to ORC and everyone that showed up.
Yes, congrats to Diablo, obviously. Don't need to do the math on that. He secured that top position, and it looks like Medieval Knight snatched second.
Yeah, he had a point in front of me. He had a great race, and everything that could have went wrong did go wrong for me. What are you gonna do?
Congrats!
Yay!
It's because I wished you break a wheel, wasn't it? It's all my fault.
That's the only thing on my car that did not break. The wheel was still there.
Excellent. Thanks for hosting this, Yan. I know it's a lot of time out of your schedule to put this together. A lot of testing goes into each car, making sure they're somewhat equal. So yeah, hats off to you, and we'll have to keep people informed on what sort of next series, if there is any series coming up, that we may or may not broadcast.
Yeah, there's a few fun events planned, so we'll see if you guys are interested. But thanks for sticking it out for 10 weeks, showing up, and giving your best effort, question mark?
My liver's thanking you. All right, on that note, thanks for everybody for watching, and again, all the information to the SRN forum will be posted in the links on the YouTube channel. Have a great night.